Hello and welcome back to In the Slant. My name is Brady, and as always today I'm joined with Jared, Dusto, and Alex. How are y'all boys doing today?
Good.
Happy 4th, everyone.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. It is 4th of July as we're recording this, so happy 4th of July to all that celebrate. Happy Independence Day, whatever you want to call it.
Happy Roman Candle Wars Day.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want to call it.
Mortar War.
But basically, today we're still in the midst of the quiet NFL offseason. And today we wanted to come on and talk about some unpopular opinions and see if we agree with each other's unpopular opinions or not. And see how feisty we can get today. Maybe we don't get feisty at all. Maybe we all agree with each other. Who knows? Who wants to go first? Let's just get straight into it because, like I said, we're in the dead of the offseason. So we're just waiting the NBA, or not NBA, the NFL season at this point. And once we get to September, we'll start to get some preseason games, or August, whatever it is. Getting my mom's confused. Who wants to go first? Who has an unpopular opinion they want to start the episode with?
Just kick it off right.
Who wants to kick it off?
I will kick it off. I want to kick it off.
All right, go ahead.
Dusto already know he's not going to agree with me. Odell Beckham Jr. can have a 1,000-yard season
He
this
is
year.
not gonna have a 1,000-yard season.
Why?
Why?
You got Mark Andrews.
Why can he and why can't he?
All right, you can go first with the why.
I'll say, okay, the reason why I think it can happen is because he's fully healthy. The last knee surgery was done by a good surgeon. Lamar's going to find a way to give him the ball. Just because Mark Andrews is on the team doesn't mean they both can have 1,000. There's plenty of scenarios where a tight end and a receiver both hit 1,000 yards.
What, Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, I'm sure, are prime examples.
That's a prime example.
Here's
They
my
had it
easy
before.
reasoning.
The list can go on and on if we really dove into
But
it.
okay, look, it's not even just Mark Andrews, right? You got Rashad Bateman, which Jared likes a lot. He showed signs of being a good receiver, just couldn't stay healthy. And then they obviously drafted Zay Flowers this season too. That's gonna obviously take yards away from him. And people were super hyped on Zay Flowers. So if you're riding the hype, there's no way if Rashad Bateman can do even a little bit better than last season, and Zay Flowers can do as good as everyone's hyping him up. I do not see Odell Beckham getting 1,000, maybe 700-800 max. For me,
Listen, with Odell coming in as a vet, he's gonna be, in my opinion, the number one target because these other two guys, one's injured and one's a rookie. I'm looking at him every time I snap the ball, first time, every time. So if he can stay healthy this whole season, he could definitely reach 1,000 yards.
You really think Zay Flowers is going to do enough production to take away that much production?
I don't have an opinion on it, but people seem to really like him as a receiver.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
From what
He's
I've
fluid.
seen, he could be good, but it obviously doesn't always translate. So of course, Zay Flowers could not do good, and obviously Odell could easily get 1,000 if Bateman doesn't turn up or any of those scenarios. But I feel like the Zay Flowers hype's got me going a little bit. And I've seen his highlights. He looks pretty good. The Ravens. Obviously, this is Lamar's chance to prove he's a good quarterback. He has all these weapons to work with, so all the receivers and tight end he has to work with should make him go crazy, right?
Yeah.
So here's where I fall on the spectrum of this debate. I feel like there is definitely a possibility that it could happen, especially with a new offensive coordinator coming in. I would say if it was still Greg Roman under charge.
If it was Greg Roman,
there's no
Odell
shot.
wouldn't have even came to Baltimore.
Yeah, I would say that there's probably no way it's happening.
Lamar would have won it out.
If Greg Roman is still there, he loves to run that ball a little too much. It feels like I get run the football is awesome, but sometimes you have to give it, be able to throw the ball a little bit more. So I definitely could see a world where Odell Beckham gets 1,000 yards. I don't, especially with 17 games now. So
I was about to mention
I agree. I definitely agree with that debate or agree with that opinion.
Let me pitch in this real quick because obviously as a Ravens fan, I feel like I know insight just a little bit more.
Oh, for
we
sure.
also still have Nelson Aguilar and Isaiah Likely, and they say Nelson Aguilar has been showing out or in OTAs and practice and whatever. So even if Odell doesn't get 1,000, I think it might be split between all these guys, and they all might be able to get over 600 within them top three, like Zay, Rashad, and Odell.
I could see a scenario like
that. But
that.
I feel like Nelson on that team, even if he's a starting wide receiver, I feel like that would help out Odell because Nelson Aguilar is really only there for the deep threat. That when Derek Carr made him get his bag with the Patriots, that's all he was really there for. Sometimes he do some short routes, but he was always there for just the touchdown routes. If Lamar's not always gonna throw a far ball, then Odell in a slant or something would be really good for Lamar, and he can get his yards still.
We still have Devin Duvernay. I don't know if you guys know of him. He was All-Pro last year, if I'm correct. He was. I know he made for punt return or whatever. Not as a receiver, but he still is a sleeper on our depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
So I think right now this is the best receiving core we've obviously had with Lamar at quarterback.
Oh, no doubt.
So,
easily the best wide receiver the Ravens have had since he's been drafted.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that could happen where Odell isn't the number one.
Probably even since our Super Bowl run in 2012.
Did Lamar play with Steve Smith Sr.? I don't think he did, right?
No,
I didn't think so.
Who is the new OC in Baltimore?
Todd Monken.
Todd Bunking. Okay.
He came straight from college to the NFL.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be any worse than what Greg Roman was doing.
Nah.
I mean,
everybody's fired up with the new OC. Too,
yeah.
So.
To be fair, Greg Roman had his good years with the way the system was running. Like, especially when Lamar first got there, and then it feels like they always just fizzled out in the playoffs.
Dude, he was great at running the ball. It's just when it came to passing plays, it looked fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And plus,
Especially,
have the receivers
I remember that
completed
first
either.
year we were watching the Titans game together, and you guys couldn't get anything going on offense.
Not only that, there's fucking over, I think, like 8 drop passes that playoff game. That shit was insane.
But you guys got your revenge back in the next playoff, so it's
Yeah.
okay. Maybe we'll get a round 3. I don't know. Titans probably shouldn't be there, but
Well, one of us goes off. We'll see.
What's the next bias opinion?
yeah. Well, who's got a?
I'll go with so I'll go one, but like I favor for the other opinion I'm gonna say. But I've been seeing a lot of reports that say that Justin Fields is not a good quarterback, and I disagree. People say that he still has accuracy issues. He's like they say that just because he can run the ball doesn't always translate to wins, and they said that he really hasn't shown like crazy improvements. But I'm on the other side of it. But I just thought it was a big unpopular opinion, so I'm gonna argue with it.
Wait,
And
so you agree or disagree that he's a good
He
quarterback?
He disagrees
So you
with
don't
it.
think he's a good quarterback?
No, I think he
Oh, you
is a
think
good
you're-
quarterback.
I've seen these too. I've seen a lot of people say that Justin Fields is overrated and
Mhm.
that he's not going to be a good quarterback. I've seen that for sure as well. I've seen that in videos and shorts. I've seen that in a lot of different places. And I don't want to just play the middle. So if I were to choose one side, literally what I was about to say was about to be playing the middle. But I would go with that. I think Fields will be good. I don't want to sit here and say he's going to be terrible. I know some people have that opinion, but I can't get on that train with you. I think that with DJ Moore coming in, we've seen time and time again that number one wide receivers always seem to help these young quarterbacks develop even further. So I don't see why Justin Fields can't be better this next season.
Listen, as NFL fans, we got to give these guys a break. They can't come in the NFL and damn near win MVP and take us to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So I feel like we got to give this man some time. Like Brady said, they just had a great offseason. So we give this. They got his receivers too.
But hey,
Yeah,
I'm on
exactly.
your
And
guys'
he,
side
and he
with
has
the
the
argument.
defense for it now as well.
But I'm on your guys' side with the argument. I'm just saying it because, like, I know a lot of people online, like, if people saw it, they'll probably get like, oh, yeah, Justin Fields is a bust, blah, blah, blah. Like,
No, I've seen it too.
Yeah.
So
I felt to this too, to where a player has came in the NFL and I expect him to go right off the bat, just perform. No, they got to adjust. You know what I mean?
some people, get it faster than others. It's just how it goes.
Well, I
And
think it's-
almost in every sport, it's like that. Some
Look
young
at the organization he went to off rip. It wasn't
Yeah.
like he
Yeah,
got
it
thrown
all
into
depends
some-
where you're drafted, and I mean, some organizations are ran horribly than others, more horribly than others. AKA my Commanders under Dan Snyder for 25 years or whatever it was. So like, there's a lot of different places that are just ran terribly, and then you got other good organizations like the Patriots who are good at developing young players. So like, it just all depends on situation, and I think Chicago's starting to turn things around a little bit, and I'm excited to see what they do this season.
Well, not only that, especially at quarterback. I
Yeah.
feel like that's even one of the harder positions to come in.
Oh,
and try
for
to
sure.
right off the
Quarterback
rip.
is.
And
I mean,
just look at the history of all their quarterbacks. I think the best one we can acknowledge right now is Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Jay Cutler.
shit, I almost said Andy Dalton. That is
Oh,
for Jay
man.
Cutler, but Jay
Mitchell
Cutler.
Cutler had-
Trubisky, I mean,
Yeah.
he had his one good year, but
Hey, because did he make playoffs his rookie year? Or not
Rookie
playoffs,
or sophomore
All-Star,
year?
or-
Rookie or
one of
sophomore.
the year.
Yeah,
he had a really good season.
That was
for
the
sure.
double doink by I can't even remember his name, the kicker
Yep.
against the Eagles in the playoffs. I can't remember his name at the top of my head right now. But
I know you're talking about.
I
He's
think it's
getting death threats.
Caleb something. I could be wrong. I could be way off.
They was pissed.
But plus, like, another thing I was going to say about the argument, because like I said, I'm on this boy's side. I'm just saying it to get them wound up in the chat, basically. But because I know we all agree that we all thought that Justin Fields was going to be a good quarterback.
For sure.
But also, this is definitely going to be his first year to prove it. That roster has not been very good, but they had a lot of cap space this year. This is going to be the year that you're going to really see how Justin Fields performs. Like Brady already mentioned, DJ Moore, he's going to finally have a true number one. I mean, he played with Allen Robinson a little bit, didn't he? Or
Who? No.
okay, so yeah, so this.
I
will
don't
be
think
his-
our Fields probably did. Never mind. Yeah, he probably did play.
I think he
Allen
played with
Robinson.
him for a little bit, but
yeah.
I mean, this is gonna be his true number one for a while. DJ Moore's a super young receiver, so and I like DJ Moore a lot, so I'm gonna be ready to see what Justin Fields can do this season.
All right.
Go ahead, Brady.
I don't know which one I want to start with. I have two, and I know one someone on this table is not going to agree with.
All right, let's hear it.
I think
About the Giants.
I have one about them too,
Oh.
but not this one. Not the one I'm going
Real
for.
quick, if you guys think I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm trying to find more topics on PFF because I know they have a bunch of controversial topics about football in there.
You're
So,
good,
but
man.
go ahead.
But I see a comeback kind of year for my man Russell Wilson this year. I know that sounds crazy,
Yeah.
But I just feel like it looks like this offseason he's been taking it a lot more seriously. The Broncos have done everything possible to make it work. Sean Payton is going to be a total upgrade from what they had. The guy they had in there had no idea what he was doing. He's the Jets offensive coordinator now. What's his freaking name?
Nathaniel Hackett.
Nathaniel Hackett. I was like, I couldn't think of his name for a second, but that man had no clue what he was doing. He had no business being a head coach. I know he was a good offensive coordinator in Green Bay, but obviously sometimes it just doesn't translate to being a good head coach. So I feel like with Sean Payton, it's going to be a total 180 from what was there. And it looks like I said, Russell Wilson is a lot more leaner now. And Jared, there's going to be a foundation. It sounds like he's already gotten rid of some of the things that were going on behind the scenes. So Russell Wilson's office being a totally different spot than the players. I just feel like there's no excuse. They grabbed some offensive linemen. Right now, if you really look at it, the NFL, recency bias would tell you that trade was one of the worst in NFL history. So I just feel like Russell Wilson could rewrite that narrative and look way better in this next season, and I can see it happening.
Okay.
I'm not going to write it off. I think I'm going to fall on the opinion that we're going to see a bounce back year from Russell Wilson.
I think with Russell Wilson, he just had maybe to turn a table, maybe get checked with like a reality check, get a little humbled, maybe in a scenario that people want to say Pete Carroll made him versus Russell Wilson made Pete Carroll with the 2 Super Bowl wins they had. I mean, obviously we know what Russell Wilson can do. I mean, I'm not writing what Brady just said off. Like, I'm not. But do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't.
Yeah, fall on one. Yeah. Don't play the middle. Yeah. Fall on one side or the other.
I don't think it's going to happen. But if it were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, he's a true vet. But I personally don't think Russell Wilson is going to do anything good enough next year to rewrite the trade that they had. So but that's just me.
This is going to be hard for me to say as a Raiders fan because, like, Brady said don't play the middle, and that's what I was kind of going to do. Because, like, the one thing that Russell Wilson always complained about was O-line, and he did – Sean Payton made – like, I didn't even think the Broncos' O-line was too bad last year. I mean, I know he did get sacked quite a bit, but he did make a bunch of terrible throws. I'm not even kidding. There's sometimes he had so much time in the pocket, and he just made an awful throw. So I really don't think he will do good, but at the same time, it's hard for me to say that because Sean Payton, like, gave him everything that this dude's been asking for. This is definitely Russell Wilson's best O-line. Like, right when the offseason started, the Broncos signed 2 big offensive linemen, paid them bags just to help, like, make Russell Wilson more happy. He gave, like Alex said, a reality check. Like, it seemed like Russell Wilson was just, like, running Nathaniel Hackett. Like, that dude just owned Nathaniel Hackett. He's like, bro, you've never been in the NFL. He's like, I'm a vet in this shit. So that he just got to do whatever you want. But Sean Payton's like, you're not gonna have your team. You're not gonna have your own shit. You're going to be a regular player because this is my team. So I could see him doing good, but I'm going to just ride with Alex. I can't play the middle. I don't want to see him do good also because I'm a Raiders fan, so I don't think he'll do good.
Listen, I just got one thing to say. Russell's been in the NFL for a while, right?
10+ years.
Yeah, he's been doing this for a minute. That's my only hope. I don't give a damn what they went out and got. They traded first round for a head coach. To me, that's still crazy. Sean Payton ain't out there playing on the damn field. He ain't going to dictate whether his team does good or not. He can coach the hell out of them all he wants, right? But that just depends on how they perform on the field. I'm just hoping that since Russell's been doing this so long, he can just flip the script and go back to how he used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When we first saw the Sean Payton trade, we gave them a lot of shit. Instantly, all of us reacted like, why would you trade a first-round pick for a head coach? But
I'm still sitting. That's crazy.
I don't. I think that was the best thing they could have done. Sean Payton is probably the best guy they could have hired to try to make this thing work. So
to compare, like, Sean Payton was coaching Drew Brees. You look at Russell Wilson and Drew Brees, body types,
similar,
playing style, very, very similar. So it might work out in their favor in the long run. We'll see, though. I personally don't think it's going to work out. But, man.
They're still bottom of the AFC.
That's a very good.
I'm going to be a Russell Wilson apologist this year or whatever. I'm going to ride Russell Wilson's train. I'm back on it.
I better see him on your fantasy team.
I was so high
I'm drafting him whatever round I need to.
3rd round.
No. He'll probably fall really far.
Listen, you just can't get worse.
7, 8, it can't be worse than last year.
If it is, dude,
get picked up.
Scratch the team. Bring a team to Wichita.
I'll draft him. I'll draft
10th round.
10th round. So I'll give Russell Wilson a chance.
Free agency pickup.
Yeah,
dude,
maybe.
I'll never forget our buddy had him and he just didn't do shit all fucking year, bro.
That was Rick who had him.
And dude, I would never forget. Brady wanted Russ so bad, and I was
on the Commanders. Yes, I did.
And I was fighting that. I was telling everybody that whole season, my dude, Russ is ass. And then everyone's like, he's gonna go do good for the Broncos. Went there and did ass, and I stand on Russ being ass.
Are you standing on it again?
I said I don't think he's gonna do good, but I can see like he like
To
you
me,
said,
you're
he's-
playing the middle by saying that.
Yeah,
so
I
either
know.
you stand on it or
He's
you don't.
fucking ass.
Okay.
Jared, you're up.
Jimmy G's
Well,
better.
Or if you don't have one, I got another one.
Well, go ahead. I got one, but it's just
Okay.
it's biased as hell. There you go.
Okay.
not
I want.
gonna be a
I want to be able.
Ravens are winning the
To, I want
AFC
to be able to
North.
say this without attacking my fellow co-host here too much.
The Giants won.
Yeah, it's a
Fuck.
okay. It's two teams. I will say. So one thing we knew last year, or maybe whatever it was, what was the worst contract in the NFL? It used to be, not anymore.
Kenny Galladay?
Kenny Galladay, and he was on the Giants. I
think I
have
know
a
where you're going
feeling
with this.
that Geno Smith and Daniel Jones, after this season, we could be looking at both those guys as maybe some of the worst contracts in the league. Potentially. I think Daniel Jones he improved, but the money they gave him, I understood why they did it. But if he does not exceed like any expectations this year, we could be looking at it as like
It's
one of the worst
fucked.
contracts.
No, it's fucked. No. The scenario I just give is who else are we gonna sign?
No, I get
you know
that
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And he's not guaranteed the full money. He's guaranteed 80 mil. Like he has a pretty.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. No, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's
Dog,
not
will you-
like it's not like we gave Daniel Jones this contract that's like setting the bar for quarterback contracts in the long run. It's like who else are we gonna sign? The improvement in 1 year was amazing. He threw the ball 100 sometimes less than Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and had about 1,500 yards less than them. So if you do the math, give him as many opportunities to throw the ball as they did. There is a scenario where he had as much yards and possibly close as much touchdowns. Probably not Patrick Mahomes because he had like 40, 50. But I mean, I get where you come from, Brady. I do, and I can't give either confident Daniel Jones is gonna get the job done or he's not gonna do shit. I'm kind of in the middle ground with it. That's just kind of where I am with it.
But I mean that's for the Daniel Jones, right? But
Yeah.
okay, so on the Daniel Jones one, I can't say either side
Yeah.
right now.
But
It's
who
too
would
hard
have?
for me. But Geno Smith one, I can say I 100% agree with what Brady's saying. I feel like you see like old vet players all the time randomly throughout their career. I'm not saying like at quarterback necessarily, but like at just random positions of like have one good year like that they haven't had ever or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just go right back to being like
to the old,
yeah,
the
to the
old
old
Geno.
yeah.
And I don't want to see that happen to Geno.
I don't want to see it happen, but like I can see it happen. Like if I had to guess right now, like I can see it. Yes, like
Man.
Geno Smith might be overpaid.
I am not playing the middle. I do it all the time. I think Geno is. I'll play the middle on Daniel Jones a little bit more, but I think Geno could literally go back to his old
Shit
ways
the
this
bed.
season. I literally could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason why. It's just a gut feeling that I have. It's no.
But they got that backup too, though.
Drew Lock?
No.
Drew Lock is not.
No, I thought they drafted somebody.
No, they didn't draft
You
anybody.
probably keep thinking Hendon Hooker, but he went to the Lions.
No. I'm not thinking.
No.
I thought there was somebody else. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be tripping.
I don't think the
they
Seahawks
somebody
drafted
super
quarterback
late.
unless they
No.
signed an undrafted
I don't
one.
think
Yeah.
they signed. No. I
Okay,
don't
it
think
might
they
just still
did.
be Geno and Drew Lock.
Because
Well, never
Drew
mind.
Lock's a solid backup.
But no
Come
one,
on.
no
Who
one.
else would you want?
Before Brian Dable got
Anybody.
there, who would have predicted that Daniel Jones would sign such a lucrative contract
Nobody.
like that?
Nobody.
Nobody would've
People were
thought
wondering why they were still trying to freaking see
Dude.
if he was something.
He
Yeah.
had okay. This is why I cut him so much slack. He had 3 different coaches, 3 different systems. Not a stable coach. No one correctly developing him. When you start looking at the development after each year, it's like, okay, this guy might be able to be decently good for us. And I tell people this all the time. I don't care if Daniel Jones goes out there and throws for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. All I care about is if we're winning ball games.
Yep.
I really could care less if he's looking like Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, because honestly, he's not that. He's probably never going to be that. If he were to ever win in a crazy scenario, win a championship, it's going to be a backbone on the defense, coaching, and they can fucking run the football. Because if you look at 2008, 2011, that's what the Giants were good at. Running the football and stopping the offense.
You think that'll get you guys to the playoffs though?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You'll Ryan Tannehill it through it?
Ryan
Throw the ball,
Tannehill.
throw the ball when
No,
needed?
no,
Game
no.
manager.
Well, fuck
'Cause
Tannehill.
I feel like you kinda, I feel like
I
you,
think Daniel Jones can sling the fucking ball. I do, but
Okay.
he's not Patrick Mahomes.
but
He's
that's what
not.
I'm saying. When you go into playoffs and you got to play teams like that, I feel like you got to kind of.
He's gonna have to step up,
Yeah.
just kind of like Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying? Like the stats were always kind of there, all that. Like I think it's like average all his careers like 66, 67% completions, but during the playoffs, Eli had to step up, and that's what he did. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm a little nervous for it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
don't be. He has that money under his ass, so he has to perform.
yeah, he finna start going to strip club.
What do you?
Have you went, Jared? Have
No,
you went?
I need you to answer about Geno Smith. What are your thoughts?
He's ass. No, I agree with pretty much what Dustin said. Like he had one good year. They gave him a contract. Now he could just happen to go back to being,
Old Geno.
yeah, just being average. But I feel like with an offense like that, he has nothing. He has no reason not to perform.
That's
not
true.
to be a good quarterback. You know what I mean?
I
He
mean,
did good
I feel
last year.
like just to start cut you off for 2
Go ahead.
seconds. I feel like if you're Geno, even at your older age, like seeing that wide receiver core, you're like, dude, my wide receiver core is already good, and we added another dude.
Yeah.
You have to be like hyped as Geno Smith to see
Yeah.
that though. Even at your old age and like maybe contemplating retiring, like that's just crazy. You're like, damn. Dude, this
Yeah,
guy
so
got
that
demons.
opinion isn't based off literally anything other than just a gut feeling, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Because
no, yeah.
there's no reason for him to struggle. It just feels like Geno was on nothing. He wasn't on shit until this last season. Like he just struggled everywhere he went.
Like we were coking Seattle. Remember, we were all like, why the hell you guys starting Geno Smith?
Listen, I'll say this though. I'm more worried about Geno than I am Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that-
no,
well,
for sure.
It's because it's hard to play like a side with Daniel Jones because he's a lot younger. Like
Yeah.
Geno Smith's like towards the end of his career. Like I'm max seeing Geno play like 3 more years, and that's like pushing it. Like I can see like 2 more max out of
Yeah.
Geno.
All right,
Jared, have you done a hot take? Let's hear one.
let's hear one.
I can't think of one.
I thought you had one a second ago.
He
You
said
said
it's
it's super
biased.
biased.
It's
Go
something
ahead.
about the Ravens, but I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing about the
No,
fucking
go ahead.
Ravens.
Go ahead.
We'll tell you if you're wrong, buddy.
All right, we can win the AFC North.
He said that
All right.
already.
So I already knew what was.
If we're
Coming.
healthy.
I
Hold on. Let me just say a fire and take. We run through the fucking NFL if we're healthy. I'll say that.
I
shit.
will say the
Wow,
Ravens.
what?
We can run
The
through
Ravens can win the AFC North. I
No,
agree.
But they're
Real
not
quick,
going to
we
because the
can
Bengals
run-
exist.
No, we can run. Listen. We can run through the NFL if we're healthy.
I don't know why Dad you
All
right.
right.
about the Bengals.
Jared, the Ravens aren't winning the AFC North. The Bengals exist.
I also
just
agree with
wait,
that
bro.
statement.
It's a fair assessment.
Fuck no, it ain't.
Gar-
We almost whooped that ass in the playoffs with a backup.
That's
That
true.
says enough.
That's true.
If we never fumbled on that goal line, that's a game to us.
They just played down their competition. They're not doing it
Oh,
again.
Yeah.
bullshit.
We've seen
We'll
other
just let them
times.
get to the goal line.
We've seen other times where they just ricochet.
And we fucked them up too.
Remember when Jamar Chase just put like 200 yards? on the
God,
line?
boy. Against you guys, he did against the Chiefs his rookie year, like 260 yards and fucking 3 TDs. I had him on fantasy. I was like, this is why I picked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, I guarantee you, I'm not even lying. I'm not even trying to like talk
T.
shit on the
Higgins.
Ravens. If you put a poll on any like popular like social media like
Of
football
course,
thing,
dude.
and
Are you gonna
pick
have
Bengals or
Steelers? You're gonna have
Ravens-
Steelers, Bengals, and fucking Browns fans just obviously choosing
No,
against
I'm
us.
saying Bengals.
Oh,
would
fuck the other
dominate
NFL teams. Who
Bengals
gives
would
a shit? They
dominate
ain't in
in
our
that
division.
category. I said, wouldn't even.
I mean, when you really look at the division, the Ravens may finish last. I'm just kidding. I was trying to be.
I'm just waiting for the Commanders.
No,
to
there's
Pittsburgh,
no-
man.
Pittsburgh is the dark horse.
There's
in that
no-
division.
Fucking Deshaun Watson to go back to his old self and fucking mob the Ravens.
That was another opinion I could have.
Nah,
Deshaun
you're crazy.
Watson, the distractions will
Because
be
if he's
gone.
gonna say that, then he has to backtrack everything he said in every other damn fucking video
I
about
was,
Deshaun
I was
Watson.
just joking when I said that. Hey, that wasn't my
Okay.
true statement. I was just
No,
saying
yeah.
that.
But is Deshaun Watson capable of going back to the old Deshaun Watson?
yes,
Is the real
he
question.
is. He
Yeah,
is.
he is.
He's still
Absolutely.
young.
agree.
There's no reason why he can't. I
He's still
mean,
young.
like we've already said, distractions will be out of the way. There's nothing gonna be happening this year. No suspension. He can start from week 1. He's had the whole offseason, 2 offseasons now with Cleveland. Obviously, a lot of
And
distractions the
Amari
first
Has
one.
Elijah Moore now.
Amari
Amari
Cooper.
Cooper.
Amari
They've added
Cooper.
They may add
Nick
DeAndre
Chubb.
Hopkins.
Added.
May
But
add
you don't have
DeAndre
that
Hopkins.
Don't be silly,
Because
Dustin.
he played like towards the end of the season, so you really
Dustin
didn't have
Dustin
him.
said they signed Amari Cooper this offseason.
I did not say that. Obviously, I said and they added, like, 'cause he didn't get to play with them really. Like, you really
No, I
get to see
know.
what Amari Cooper and Watson can do.
Raw.
He did good though for fantasy, even with Jacoby Brissett.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Amari Cooper's a good.
So
good
should they just
receiver.
hot take? Should they start Jacoby Brissett?
He's
over
not even there
Deshaun Watson?
anymore.
Is he not?
No, he's in
I'm
Washington.
kidding. No, he got
Jacoby Brissett's
250
always
million.
the
That
backup
guy.
for a different team every year.
He
I
got
swear.
250 million. Nobody's starting over Watson. Even if he does play like ass, he has to stay on that field.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. You have to play him out there. That's
230, whatever the fuck it was.
That's another trade that you can't just bench the guy. You know how terrible that would look.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Your fan base would be
I
pissed.
mean,
as-
bench him. If you guys lose a losing season for like the next 2 years,
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you kind of have to, but you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure that isn't the case, or you're gonna look stupid.
I mean, because the Browns' defense is always pretty good. It's just their quarterback play that's always been questionable, in my opinion. So if Deshaun Watson can improve, then I could easily that's why I don't see the Browns above the Ravens right now. For me to go Bengals, Ravens.
I mean, realistically, yeah.
It's hard after. Dude, I don't know what to toss up in that division.
I don't know.
Yeah, after that.
Realistically, right
But
now,
I think it's Bengals or Bengals Ravens 1 and 2. And
Bengals, Ravens,
I don't know
and
about
Browns.
the bottom.
No, Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers.
Nah, it has to be Steelers right now until we see
Browns.
Deshaun Watson play.
Well, Kenny Pickett has to play better than Deshaun Watson for that to happen.
I think he can.
Oh yeah, but if Deshaun Watson goes back to old Houston, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how the cards fold, you know.
There's no way he's out for 1 year. There's no way he doesn't bounce back to himself. I just don't believe it. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, he can't. If he doesn't, that trade is gonna look so bad. It's just gonna look so
Terrible.
bad. That was another guy I wanted Washington to get. So
What, Watson?
yeah,
That'd be crazy for you guys.
I wanted him really badly. I knew it wasn't gonna happen because of everything that was going on with him, and it didn't even sound like Washington was interested because they're just.
Well, Cleveland, I think, had dropped out at first, and then came back in and then just paid him,
God.
which was insane.
I always thought Cleveland was a good destination for him too, but then he dropped out of it and then decided to go back because it came down to like the Panthers and the Saints and the Falcons.
Yeah, I thought the Falcons were gonna get him.
Ooh, Panthers. If Deshaun Watson went back to himself, though, young defense.
Anything else?
I got one more.
All right.
Just start throwing shit out
Dustin,
there.
I like this. Okay,
Oh,
I've been sitting on this thought for a while. I really do believe. Okay, we all know the Chiefs are raw. Da 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 da.
Mhm.
In a crazy scenario, the LA Chargers can take the AFC West this
I
year.
just say I'm not gonna agree with that. I've been saying that shit.
Have you?
That's
Dustin
what I was
saying that.
Yes?
That's what I stated on all
Oh.
last year.
Remember, he had the Chargers
Last
ranked
year?
1.
Oh, you
and
did?
he
You
was
said I was
three.
crazy.
Oh yeah, I did.
When
say
you
were crazy.
weren't on
I
yet.
did
but-
say you were crazy, but no, because I said you were crazy because you had the Chiefs at 3. That's why I said you're
So
crazy.
is this a hot take? You think Chargers?
I think the Chargers could potentially, because when you look at like the times they played the Chiefs, it's always like down to the wire.
But are you willing to predict it?
Oh, I don't know if I
You
can.
can't
Are you
stand
stand?
it
Are you
on
hold on?
track.
Hold on.
You
Yeah.
have
Are
to
you?
All
standing on
right,
it?
fuck y'all. No,
Oh!
no, I thought this is an unpopular
Fuck it,
opinion.
I'm taking Alex's fucking topic. I'm standing on the Chargers are taking this division this fucking
Listen,
year.
Was
I would-
Brandon Staley still as head coach?
I really do think that LA Chargers can possibly win the AFC West. I
Hey,
do.
if they're keeping Brandon, if they're keeping
Am
this
I
long,
100% confident in that? No.
you
Brand-
gotta stand on it.
I'm sorry.
I
I
would
would.
stand on that.
Yeah.
Brandon
Yeah.
Staley, I just can't
That's
trust
the
him.
factor.
Dude, I'm just ready to see the Chiefs not dominate this fucking division, so I'm standing on the Chargers.
Listen, that day will end once Patrick Mahomes is not playing under center.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs are just gonna dominate for years until
Yes.
Kelsey or Mahomes are gone. I mean,
I don't even think. I think if Kelsey ends up retiring, I think
think
they're going to
Mahomes-
find somebody
Mahomes
else. and
probably
then Patrick
carry it.
Mahomes is
Yeah.
still going to, because everyone's another scenario we had last year was Patrick Mahomes ain't going to be shit without Tyreek Hill. Well,
Yeah.
he proved that real fast. Like he does not need Tyreek Hill. bro.
Yeah.
like he made that statement the first 5 games.
they both
first
proved
fucking game.
they both proved they don't need each other.
They don't
Which
need
was
They're
each
both
other.
good players in their own
I'm
right.
about to say, which is a crazy take in itself. Like, you've seen what they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, but Tyreek Hill did have his best season yet without Patrick Mahomes.
I
second
really wish I could sit here and say the Chargers take the division, but if they would have gotten like a different head coach, I feel like I could trust because the
No.
All right, this
talent
one's
is
for
there.
Dustin. Then Dustin, go ahead, stand on. it.
Dustin's standing
I'm
on
fucking standing on it. Thank you for the
He's gonna
topic.
stand on it until it happens, which I can respect, but it won't happen.
They
Not
just
anytime soon.
have the weapons and the defense to maybe do it.
it. Absolutely,
But-
and the window is going to close on this team being as stacked as it is right now because I think after this year, either Keenan Allen or Mike Williams are gone.
Someone's gone.
Yeah,
But
Someone's really
another thing you gotta think about too is like
the defense.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
Keenan
the
Allen because Mike
and
Williams
Khalil
just got
Mack may
paid?
not be there.
Khalil Mack, yeah, Joey Bosa, J.C. Jackson if he stays healthy.
Yeah, the
Goes
window
back to his
is
old
right now
ways.
for the
Derwin
Chargers.
James.
Demir, what's his name? Oh no, you
Derwin
said I was
James,
thinking
yeah.
Derwin James. I
Derwin
said
James,
Demir.
yeah.
Amir or
Demir.
I almost said Amir Abdullah. What the
I
hell?
think he plays for the
That's
Chargers.
a running back. What am I
Asante
talking about?
Samuel.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to say. And I
Yeah,
said
that's-
Amir
that's what you were
Abdullah. I'm
thinking.
a freaking
I was like,
idiot.
who was you say Demir Abdullah?
I meant to say Asante Samuel. I don't know why I
okay,
said that.
but like what I was about to say too is like when you think of like the Patrick Mahomes and like Joe Burrows, like and like the AFC, like the quarterback that like I can see like right under that category that could easily be it. One of those quarterbacks
Justin
is
Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, of course.
Especially like I'm not even like if you're not a real Justin Herbert fan or like you haven't seen what he do. If you did not watch the game Raiders versus Chargers go like for the playoffs that year, like dude, we were up so much and Justin Herbert was literally making the craziest plays we've
Yeah.
ever seen. Like we
With
ended
the
up-
broken rib,
we
broken finger.
Yeah, we still won that game. Don't get me wrong. Like we made playoffs, but like me and Brady are watching that game. I wouldn't even like. Of course, I would have been mad if we lost, but like Justin Herbert was making such crazy plays. I couldn't even be upset. Like, this motherfucker.
It was like fourth down with the clock expiring, just gets a touchdown.
Yeah, like you
Raw.
couldn't be bad.
It was the wildest game I've ever seen.
So like that's why I stayed on, because like to me, like this quarterbacks, like a quarterback that could become the Joe Burrows and Patrick Mahomes is Justin Herbert.
I have a question.
I got one right after you.
Okay. For the unproven, name all the unproven quarterbacks they're going to start this year.
Justin Fields.
I'm talking about that like haven't started consistently. So we got the rookies coming in, obviously, but the two I'm going to be talking about the most are obviously Jordan Love and Sam Howell. Which one do you think you would invest more stock in?
Jordan Love, easily.
Yeah, if you choose Jordan Love, I'm not gonna be offended.
I'm not. I'm not picking Jordan Love. Actually, I'm picking Sam Howell based off what all his receivers have already said about him. I think Sam Howell can get it done. He played. What was it? Week 18 he played. Man, if he can just do that next season, there's no reason why you would not think Sam Howell can be the future quarterback.
I'm gonna go with Sam Howell too. Obviously, that sounds biased as hell, but here's the reason why: because the Packers don't really have a veteran in their wide receiver group. If they do, it's not a guy that I can even think of at the top of my head right now. Unless, I mean, they had Sammy Watkins. He's not there anymore. But the two young wide receivers they have as their main are going to be Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson. I know they drafted another guy, but I don't know his name at the top of my head. Washington has Terry McLaurin,
and they got a new tight end too.
Who, Packers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying Washington has a veteran like Terry McLaurin, who's probably one of the most professional players I've ever seen in the NFL. One of them. I'm not saying he is the most professional, but he's been nothing but an absolute pro since he's gotten into Washington. And you have Dotson, who's going to come on to his second year. He has a familiar wide receiver he's familiar with Diami Brown. They both played together at
North Carolina.
And then you also have Curtis Samuel, who obviously is another kind of veteran on the team. So I just trust the Commanders wide receiver group more than I would trust the Packers wide receiver group.
But you also got to remember that Jordan Love was also sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a few years, and like even though Aaron Rodgers was probably teaching him here and things, like when I saw Jordan Love's throwing technique, it looked exactly like Aaron. Like I even told Scott that. He sent me a picture. I'm like, I'm not saying he's going to go out there and throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm saying like how he was throwing the ball and everything looked like he really like took everything in that Aaron Rodgers was teaching him and like telling him, and it's like, and maybe Jordan Love found a new like little throwing technique, because like I said, he looked exactly, when I saw him throw the ball in the camera, I'm like, that's an Aaron Rodgers throw. Like
also Eric Bieniemy is going to be another factor in my opinion.
Man.
I think this is his chance to go out there and prove it wasn't just because of Andy Reid. So I'm hoping that Washington's going to love Eric Bieniemy at the end of the season. Now that may lead to him leaving for a head coaching job. We shall see if it goes well or not. With the new ownership group coming in Washington, I have no idea what their plans will be. Maybe they'll be like, okay, well, we don't want Ron Rivera. We'll fire him and hire Eric Bieniemy. Maybe. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, so Sam Howell, Jordan Love is going to be a little comparison to watch this season, because both of them have similar situations going into this year.
But I will say Sam Howell's definitely wide receiver room is looking way better than Jordan Love. So.
All right, on to we'll do probably, unless you guys have another one, we'll just end on this one.
Well, I'll scratch my question. Don't even worry about it. But I do want to mention, though, the big sleeper is Eric Bieniemy. Because I keep forgetting sometimes that you guys had got him for your OC, which is crazy. Like you said, this could be a huge year for him to prove he could be an offensive coordinator without being under Andy Reid.
Especially because to add on to that, you would always see them talk about their offensive play calling, complaining about it. So them both getting new like OCs is really a huge thing. So you're hoping to see both the Ravens and Commanders take huge steps, especially in the offense, because to me, the defenses with both teams, besides when the Ravens were injured and when the Commanders weren't playing good, have never really been a question. That the defense have always shown out. So it's just seeing what this new offensive coordinators can do with both these teams.
One thing I need to see this year from Washington is to start fast. This team always starts freaking slow.
Yeah, you guys always pick up like
start so slow, and then we just like go on this crazy run in the middle of the season and then fall off again. Like I'm sick of it. We just start out of the gate firing.
8-0.
Firing.
We need to be 8-0. No, nothing like that. But we need to be out there, not going 2-7 and then going on a run to play catch up. That feels like that's what this team has done for years, and I'm over it. So.
It's a new era in Washington.
Hopefully. Well, technically not really, because Ron Rivera is still here, and I don't know how much I trust him. But I think that's going to do it for us.
Good episode.
Good.
Let
Yeah,
us
feel
know
good.
what y'all think about our takes. Let us know in the comments if you guys got any other takes.
Have fun popping some fireworks tonight.
Don't
Yep,
get
have a
hurt.
happy
Everybody be
4th.
safe.
Don't blow each other up.
Everybody pull up
But
to
remember,
Dustin's
have
house.
Roman candle wars.
All right, this is In the Slant. We'll see you on the next episode. Saying peace.